Alrighty, we are back in All Trails, Glacier National Park. As you see, there's 162 trails in here. With that said, though, those trails, there's pockets of them and they're not all close, which I will explain. You have Lake McDonald when you get in the park. That's where the famous rainbow rocks are. You'll see a lot of pictures of the clear water and the rainbow rocks. You'll see those everywhere all over Montana. We actually have them around the property, but it's very clear how diverse their color is when they're underwater in this lake. It's neat. It's beautiful. There's so many views that you can catch as soon as you drive into Glacier, which, by the way, you probably already know about the reservation system and Park Pass. If you don't, please tell me. I'm going to ask that as a question as well to make sure that you know in case you don't watch this video until the 9th hour. Don't let that discourage you for any of the hikes I'm about to tell you. Just get in the park super early. It's worth it because some of the hikes you need that time and you want to be first on the trail. That's where you see all the good stuff and the break of dawn. It's amazing. So you would do that, or if you're doing a shorter trail, shorter hike, getting in after 3 p.m. is perfectly fine. Anyways, when you get to the entrance, it's going to seem like traffic is backed up. It takes like 10, 15 minutes depending on the time of day. This is why going early is also great to get through the booth. And then once you're in, you're in. Anywho, once you do, it's about 30 minutes-ish, maybe a little bit more to get to the beginning of the Going to the Sun Road and to get to the Avalanche Lake parking area. However, on the way there, the first area that you come to where there's a stop sign and you can either go straight, right, or left. If you go straight, there's a little area with a market and you can park and you have breathtaking views of Lake McDonald. It's a totally different view than you get otherwise. To do the hikes that I'm about to tell you, you would take a right and you would keep going until you go to Avalanche. Definitely get the map if you're not familiar with the park. There's going to be a million places that you can pull over and stop. It's not always easy if there is traffic, but for the most part, there shouldn't be. That you can see, waterfalls and picture opportunities, etc. Let me speed this up for you. Welcome to Fast Forward. Here's where I'm going to break down the top hikes, the most popular according to All Trails, and I would argue that this is a correct list. Avalanche Lake, that's the one that I mentioned before. It is my favorite trail to recommend to people because it calls it a moderate trail, and it really is. I'm telling you, it is all abilities. Like, I saw people that did not have their vision, that were blind on this trail, and it actually floored me. It was amazing to see them up there. I've seen elderly people. I have just seen all types of people on this trail. It is really for everyone. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It really is moderate. And it's breathtaking when you get to the lake. You just want to prepare for mosquitoes because they're there and they do suck. As long as there's those bracelets that they sell. They're non-toxic. They really are amazing. I wish that I had some in the home right now for you guys to use. I do not, sadly, so my apologies. But they help keep the mosquitoes off of you. So Avalanche Lake is right before the start of Going to the Sun Road, which I'm going to get to. There is parking on your right where there's kind of campsite areas, and parking on your left, which is very limited. And the parking on the left side, you can see Flathead River, and it's beautiful. If you just walk down to the river right there, right after you park, it's really nice to just go take a peek over there. And then you go to the right, there's Trail of the Cedars, which is a little over a mile. It's just flat boardwalks through the forest. It's beautiful, tranquil sounds. It's very nice. And then you pass by the waterfall. When you get to the waterfall, you're about to start the Avalanche Lake hike, which there will be a sign for it. It takes about, depending on your fitness level, it could take you anywhere from 90 minutes up and down to 3 hours up and down. It just depends on how fast you're going. Then you have Grinnell Glacier Trail, which Chris would call it a moderate hard, not quite a hard, a moderate hard. That is a very popular trail. I can't think of we were just talking about not remembering how you access the trail. There will be signs or it'll show you on the map, but I know that you can take a ferry to skip part of the hike. And actually, you could go on YouTube. People will record these hikes and explain, here's how you get to it, here's my suggestion, blah, blah, blah. So that's not a bad idea if you want to look up some of these trails beforehand so that you have an idea. So Grinnell Glacier. Hidden Lake Overlook is when you drive going to the sun. I'm sorry, I did not click some of these things for you. I'll go back and click at the end. Hidden Lake Overlook is at the top of Going to the Sun Road. Going to the Sun Road is an absolute must. If you go into the park more than once, either do this drive because it's going to get you to one of these hikes, or if you're not going to do the hikes that it takes you to, then just do it because it's a breathtaking drive. It is so wonderful. It's split in half. When you take the drive, it takes a long time. The roads are narrow. You're going slow. You want to see everything along the way. You will drive to the top, an area that's called Logan Pass. Logan Pass has a visitor center. You can get out and walk around. It's such a beautiful area too. Sometimes it's hard to find parking. You have to circle a bit, be prepared. Logan Pass is where you're going to access some of these trails. So you have Hidden Lake Overlook. It is behind the Logan Pass Visitor Center. It is not a long trail. As you can see, it's only 2.7 miles. Grinnell Glacier is 10 miles, so you need to prep a little bit more for that trail because you're going to be on it for quite some time. The Hidden Lake Overlook is a fast one, and you're going to see a lot of wildlife. You're going to see, that's where the rams, the goats, and the bears are there. Just bring your bear spray. Iceberg Lake is another trail that you can access. Going to the sun is going to take you to Iceberg Lake. It's a phenomenal trail, phenomenal. However, you have to drive. There's two ways to get to it. You have to drive going to the sun the whole entire road. So once you get to Logan Pass, going to the sun goes further. You continue on past Logan Pass. It continues to go. It's the backside of the road. That will lead you to the east entrance of the park, where the below trail as well is called St. Mary and Virginia Falls Trail. Those trails are over on the east side of the east entrance. East entrance is about 3.5 hours drive. If you were to drive to that entrance outside of the park, it's where the reservation is. My suggestion would be to drive the Going to the Sun Road because this will also take you to that part of the park and continue on, get the breathtaking views, and hit the Iceberg Lake Trail, for example. That would be a great trail. And then come out of the east entrance and drive the 3 hours. It's a lot, but I mean, if you're having a great time and good conversation, it'll go quick and you'll get it done. But I would come out that entrance versus driving all the way back and going to the sun again. With all that said, Iceberg Lake fantastic. Avalanche, easier. But if you want the trail of trails, let me go through these really quick and show you. It is going to be the Highline Trail. The Highline Trail is going to be an all-day thing. You're going to get in the park before anyone gets there, before 6 a.m. so that you don't have to worry about the reservation system, so that you can get parking and get out on that trail. That is assuming that it's open. We're about to check and see what other hikers are saying, because that is a trail that a lot of people do. It is a hard trail. When I said that Grinnell Glacier was moderate hard, Highline is hard. But worth it. Absolutely worth it. If you are like we are hikers, we're in shape, that is a trail. I mean, you have a Green Beret with you, so I'm assuming that you all can hang, and that this would be a lot of fun for you guys. But you really need to prep and probably carb load the night before, and definitely bring enough food and water, bear spray, flashlights, all the things. I'm preaching to the choir. You guys know all of this. So let me click through these, and then I'm going to show you the Highline Trail. So Avalanche Lake, I already explained it to you. There's not much else to say. You'll see 3 waterfalls coming from the mountains there. It is mostly elevation, so coming back down is, I would say, a breeze, but it can be hard on the knees because now you've got the decline. It's wonderful. Here you go, 13 minutes ago, a little muddy today. Bring shoes you trust. I have been that person. I have definitely been on this trail a few times when it's muddy. Grinnell Glacier. Let's see. 3 hours ago, absolutely stunning. Wildlife, wildflowers. Talking about the animals they saw. Bighorn sheep at the top. I'm floored that they took their 2-year-old on this trail. I hear a lot of families though do it. So this is a great trail and people are on it right now. Then Hidden Overlook. This is the one that's at Logan Pass behind the visitor center. This is such a classic glacier trail, and that peak right there. Let's see what people are saying. Started this hike 6:30 a.m. Rain started. Yeah, rain can happen when you're up there, and it does become very, very slippery. You have to be careful. I can't express that enough of how slippery those trails at Logan Pass can get. Everyone's saying the same thing. Slippery, slippery, slippery. Quite a bit of snow on it still. I'm not surprised because going to the sun just opened up. So good to know. Be careful. Iceberg Lake. I mean, that's going to be a fun trail. Here is friend recommended this hike. Did not disappoint. A little longer than usual. Still some snow. I remember reading this before. At the very end of the trail, there's still some snow. Not surprised. Good info. Saw 2 young grizzly bears in the distance on the mountain above us. Well, thank God they were in the distance. Then you've got St. Mary's. This is the trail that a young girl just recently died on because, rest in peace, very, very sad. She got too close to the waterfall and fell in. And the waterfall pushed her into the water. So don't go beyond where you're supposed to. And I don't say that insensitively. It's really, really tragic. It's unfortunate. All right, so let's bring you to Let's see if it's in here.